you're going to hear more and more the term cognitive decline. I'm sure you've already heard it already, right? Cognitive impairment when it comes to Joe Biden. And that's going to be a major talking point moving forward for the next couple months. And there's a lot of misinformation going on about this. It is a fact, it's a proven fact, no question about it, that for most people, around the age of 70, if not earlier, but we'll go with 70, your brain starts to slow down. Certain things fade, your memory, your language skills, thinking, judgment, it all starts to fade slowly at around 70. It's all good, right? It's no problem. It's not weakness. I mean, I'm not going to hold it against a 75-year-old or a 90-year-old for forgetting certain things, right? It's part of life. It's to be expected. It's the circle of life, and hopefully to be taken with as much understanding and patience and somehow even joy as when, say, a 5-year-old's learning how to do things for the first time, right? Like that is the circle of how it works. So it's fine. I'm not criticizing people over the age of 70 for forgetting things or whatever. But I'm not sure we should be electing really old people to be president of the United States. I don't know if that's a great thing that we're doing. If Biden, Sanders, or Trump win the 2020 election, which they probably will, right? Any of them would be the oldest person to ever give the inaugural address. So, this is a weird time that we're in. This is from Derek Thompson. He wrote a really good article about this in The Atlantic. He said all three were born in the 40s, before the invention of Velcro and the independence of India and Israel. Amazingly, check this fact out. Each is currently older than any of the past 3 U.S. presidents. If through some constitutional glitch, which isn't even glitch because any of these guys could run for president again. You can't run for 2 successive terms, but you could, like Obama could run for president again. But anyway, if through some constitutional glitch, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, or Barack Obama jumped into the race at this very moment, each of them would become the youngest man in the contest. Isn't that wild? If Warren somehow won, she would be the oldest president ever. So this guy, Derek Thompson, he asked, why are presidential candidates getting so old? A good question. So a couple ideas. The first, mostly older people vote, and older people might prefer an older candidate, right? But that's not always the case. That's not the case in Europe. All right, England, the over 55 crowd outvotes the under 30 crowd by the largest margin in the world. But Boris Johnson is 55. Right? He's the prime minister, he's 55. Biden, Sanders, and Trump are older than the last 5 British prime ministers. So England's not electing super old people, even as their population is getting older. So it doesn't quite explain it. It's not just president either, right? The House Speaker, the House Majority Leader, the House Majority Whip, and the Senate Majority Leader are all over 75. So what's going on here? One reason that makes sense to me is, at least for president, but this wouldn't really explain like Nancy Pelosi, other than just these people are just super power hungry and they never want to let go of power. And we're living older than we were in the past. Maybe that's the biggest one. We're just living longer. And once you have power like Nancy Pelosi, like I don't understand Nancy Pelosi wanting to be Speaker of the House. Like give it up already. Just go. Like how can you be so arrogant to think that you're the only person who could possibly do this job? Just go be with your grandkids and your great-grandkids. Like go live the rest of your life. Why do you're so power hungry you can't let go of these reins of power? Like what's wrong with you? I think that's a major character flaw. But at least when it comes to running for president, older people are out of their prime earning age range. So like Jeff Bezos, for instance. Jeff Bezos, he's 56 right now. If he were to run for president, he would give up his peak earning years. And he doesn't want to do that. Where Trump and Bloomberg, those days are behind them. So they're like, well, I don't know. Let's just run for president. Right? Bloomberg would be like 80 when he was. So he's like, I'm not doing anything else. I might as well run for president. So I don't know, maybe it's just, it takes longer to get to rack up the accolades that people are looking for president, but that's not even right because I don't even think we're looking for accolades or credentials anymore. We're not looking for experience. We're looking for familiarity, if anything. Think about this, H.W. Bush was really the last president who was, this isn't the right word, like well-credentialed. That's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying? So he was a congressman and then the UN ambassador. and then the head of the CIA, and then vice president and president, right? If there were to be a way to rise the ranks to become president, like that's it. Like and he was the last one to do that. Because then you had Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton didn't do any of that. But then even Bill Clinton had more governing experience than George W. Bush. But even George W. Bush was a governor longer than Obama was senator. And then Obama was at least in government more than Trump, who has no political experience. Now, I like that Trump has no political experience, don't get me wrong, but do you see how we're trending in that direction from H.W. Bush, who was a super credentialed person, down to someone with no, that's just the direction we're heading in. And I don't know what's next. I don't know what's after that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. About Joe. He's gonna do these rallies, and they're getting shorter and shorter. For his advisors are smart. He's gonna keep slurring his words. He's gonna keep saying nonsense. And people are gonna say, what's going on? And then his supporters are gonna say, oh, how dare you make fun of him? He's had a stutter since childhood. I'm like, no, not the stutter I'm talking about. I don't hear a stutter. I hear him saying, what was the clip the other day? He's like, we believe in, what was it? It was like, we're endowed. What was it? Something like we're endowed by, the thing for the, and the, and the people. You're like, no, like that's not a stutter. So if you or anyone brings up his cognitive decline, it's some sort of unfair ageist attack, but it's a genuine question, especially when his campaign staff's goal is to limit his public appearances and make sure he talks as little as possible. Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.